The moment you prioritize being liked over being respected, you invite your own destruction. Most people walk through life begging for affection, unaware that they are handing others the tools to betray them. Love is a choice others make for their own convenience. Fear is a boundary they dare not cross. If you want to survive the modern world, you must understand a cold, ancient truth. People will forget your kindness, but they will never forget your teeth. Consider the rise of Cesare Borgia. He inherited a land of chaos and bandits in the Romagna. He did not try to win their hearts with gold or empty promises. Instead, he appointed a man named Ramiro di Orco. Di Orco was a man of extreme cruelty. He used blood and iron to bring order. The people were terrified, but the chaos stopped. Then, Borgia realized something profound. If he kept the cruel man, the people would eventually hate him personally. So, one morning, the people woke up to find Di Orco in the town square. He had been cut in two. Beside him lay a piece of wood and a bloody knife. The crowd was both satisfied and stunned. They were relieved the tyrant was gone, but they were terrified of the man who could destroy such a monster so casually. Borgia had achieved the ultimate strategic balance. He was both the savior and the predator. He understood that love is a debt people hate to repay. Fear is a debt they pay every single day. In the court of power, gratitude is a heavy burden. The mind seeks to lighten it by finding reasons to dislike the giver. But fear creates an alert focus. It forces the observer to watch your every move. It commands a presence that no amount of smiling could ever buy. History is not written by the kind. It is written by those who understood when to show the blade. Borgia didn't want their affection. He wanted their obedience. And he knew that obedience born of love is fickle. It changes with the weather. But obedience born of a calculated threat is permanent. It remains even when the sun goes down. To Borgia, the love of the people was a tool, but their fear was his security. Why does the human brain prioritize fear over love? It is a matter of biological survival. Evolutionary psychology tells us that the cost of ignoring a threat is far higher than the cost of ignoring a friend. If you ignore a friend, you lose a social connection. If you ignore a predator, you lose your life. This ancient wiring still dictates our modern social hierarchies. When you are nice to everyone, you signal that you are not a threat. In the subconscious minds of those around you, you are classified as low stakes. They believe they can offend you, overlook you, or take from you without consequence. Love is a luxury of the safe. Fear is the necessity of the powerful. We are told that love conquers all, but in the reality of human competition, love is a variable. It fluctuates based on mood, hunger, and self-interest. Fear, however, is a constant. It is an objective assessment of power. When someone fears you, not in the sense of a physical threat, but in the sense of respecting your boundaries and your capacity to exact a cost, they are forced to be honest. They cannot afford to be lazy with you. The truth they won't tell you is that most people do not want to be good. They simply want to avoid being punished. If you remove the possibility of consequence, you remove the incentive for their loyalty. Human nature is fundamentally transactional. We seek the maximum gain for the minimum effort. If being kind to you costs nothing, they will take your kindness and give you nothing in return. But if crossing you costs them their reputation, their peace of mind, or their position, they will treat you with the utmost care. This is not dark. It is realistic. To ignore this is to walk into the woods without a compass. You are expecting the world to be better than it is, and you will pay for that delusion with your own influence. Imagine you are at your workplace. There is a colleague everyone likes. He brings coffee. He laughs at every joke. He is the first to volunteer for the tasks nobody wants. People call him a team player. But watch what happens when a promotion is on the line. Watch what happens when credit is being distributed. He is bypassed. He is ignored. His kindness is seen as a commodity, not a virtue. Now, imagine another colleague. She is polite, but distant. She does not participate in the gossip. She does not seek approval. When she says no, she doesn't offer a long apology. She simply states her boundary. People don't necessarily love her. They don't invite her to the casual happy hour to mock the boss. But when she enters the room, the volume of the room shifts. They choose their words carefully around her. They respect her time because they fear the consequences of wasting it. This is the difference between social currency and power. Kindness is often just a mask for the fear of conflict. Most people are nice because they lack the courage to be anything else. They mistake their weakness for morality. They think they are choosing to be good. In reality, they are simply harmless. A sheep is not virtuous for not eating the wolf. A sheep simply cannot eat the wolf. True respect comes from the knowledge that you could be dangerous, but you choose to be disciplined. Think about your family gatherings. There is always that one relative who is treated like a doormat. They do all the cooking, all the cleaning, and receive only criticism in return. Why? Because the family knows there is no price to pay for mistreating them. They know this person will always be there, always forgiving, always seeking love. Contrast this with the relative who has walked away before, the one who has cut ties when boundaries were crossed. That person is treated with the utmost care. Their presence is valued because their absence is feared. You see this in every negotiation. The party that is most desperate for the deal, the one who shows love for the outcome, always loses. They give up their leverage. They show their cards too early. The party that is willing to walk away, the one who creates the fear of the deal collapsing, holds the power. In modern dating, we see the same pattern. The nice guy or the constant pleaser is often the first to be ghosted, not because they aren't good people, but because they provide no challenge. They provide no mystery. There is no fear of losing them because they have made it clear they will never leave. Human nature is wired to take for granted what is guaranteed. We only value what we might lose. We only respect what can hurt us. This doesn't mean you should be a tyrant. It means you must have the capacity for the strike. If you are incapable of saying no or walking away, your yes has no value. Your presence is just noise. Your kindness is just a default setting. To be respected, you must be a variable, not a constant. You must be an enigma that people have to solve every single day. When people know exactly how you will react, they stop thinking about you. When they are slightly uncertain, when they fear a sudden change in your disposition, they become hyper-aware of your needs. This is the truth the world hides from you. They tell you to be agreeable. They tell you to get along. They tell you these things because it makes you easier to manage. It makes you a better tool for their own goals. They don't want you to be respected. They want you to be useful. Break that mold. Be respected. This principle expands into every corner of human existence. In high-stakes negotiation, the person who cares least about the love of the other party wins. If you walk into a room needing the other person to like you, you have already signed away your profit. The most powerful negotiator is the one who is prepared to destroy the deal. That fear of loss is the only thing that moves the needle. In leadership, the manager who tries to be everyone's friend eventually loses the department. When hard decisions need to be made, when layoffs occur or deadlines are missed, the friendly manager's requests are seen as optional. But the leader who maintains a professional distance, who holds people to a standard with the implied consequence of removal, is the one whose team actually performs. In social circles, notice who gets interrupted. It is always the one who smiles the most. It is always the person who nods too much. They are signaling that they are a safe harbor for everyone else's ego. They are offering love and validation for free. Therefore, their validation is worth nothing. Now look at the person who rarely speaks, but when they do, they are blunt and honest. People wait for them to finish. They fear the sharp edge of that person's judgment. In relationships, the fear of loss is the bedrock of attraction. If a partner knows that no matter how they treat you, you will stay because you love them too much, they will eventually treat you with contempt. Contempt is the opposite of respect. It is the belief that you are beneath them. To maintain respect, you must maintain the reality that you are a high-value individual who can and will exit if the terms are not met. This isn't about playing games. It is about maintaining your own sovereignty. You are not a satellite orbiting someone else's life. You are your own sun. People must feel the heat of your standards, or they will eventually forget you are there. Imagine a shepherd. He loves his sheep. He feeds them, protects them, and guides them to green pastures. The sheep do not respect the shepherd. They merely use him. They wander off whenever they see a prettier patch of grass. They ignore his calls. They are oblivious to his efforts. Now, imagine the wolf on the hill. The sheep do not love the wolf, but they are intensely aware of him. They watch the tree line. They stay huddled together. They listen for the slightest sound of his paws on the dry leaves. The wolf has their absolute, undivided attention. The wolf dictates their behavior without saying a word. In the forest of human nature, you must be the shepherd with the reputation of a wolf. You must provide the green pastures. Yes, you must provide the value. But you must also be the one they fear to lose. You must be the storm that stays on the horizon, beautiful to look at from a distance, but something no one wants to be caught in without a plan. A calm sea never made a skilled sailor, and a man who was only sunshine never commanded the respect of the world. The world needs the dark clouds. It needs the lightning. It needs to know that you are capable of bringing the rain. Only then will they truly appreciate the days when you choose to be the sun, without the capacity for the storm. Your light is just a glare that people squint at and eventually turn away from. Be the depth of the ocean, quiet on the surface. but possessing a pressure at the bottom that can crush anything that doesn't belong there. To implement this, you must follow a tactical framework of strategic distance. Rule 1. Master the art of the no. Most people say yes because they fear the social friction of a no. By doing this, you show that your time and energy are cheap. Start saying no to things that do not serve you. Do it without a long, rambling explanation. An explanation is a plea for forgiveness. A simple "I can't do that" is a statement of power. Rule 2. Cultivate selective unpredictability. If people can predict your every move, they can plan around you. They can manage you. Occasionally, break your own patterns. Be the one who leaves the party early when everyone expects you to stay. Be the one who remains silent in a meeting where you usually speak. This creates a psychological itch in others. They start wondering what you are thinking. That uncertainty is the seed of respect. Rule 3. Use the power of the exit. You must be willing to walk away from any deal, any friendship, and any situation that violates your core standards. If you cannot walk away, you are a slave. The moment people realize you are willing to leave, their treatment of you will change instantly. Rule 4. Speak less, mean more. The more you talk, the more common you appear. High-status individuals do not leak information. They do not gossip. They speak with intention. When you speak less, people are forced to listen harder. They fear missing the few words you do offer. Rule 5. Reward loyalty, penalize disrespect. This is the Borgia method. You must be consistent. If someone does well by you, show them incredible warmth. But if someone crosses a line, there must be a visible, cold consequence. It doesn't have to be a shout. A cold silence or a permanent withdrawal of a privilege is often more terrifying than a scream. This creates a clear map for how to treat you. People will choose the path of respect because the alternative is too costly. Visualize the person you are becoming. You are no longer the one looking for a smile in the hallway to feel validated. You are the one whose presence causes others to straighten their posture. You are the architect of your own reputation. When you walk into a room, you aren't wondering, "Do they like me?" You are observing them to see if they meet your standards. This shift in perspective is the birth of true power. You realize that you don't need their love to succeed. You need their cooperation. And cooperation is much easier to secure when there is a healthy level of respect for your capabilities and your boundaries. You are becoming untouchable, not because you are isolated, but because you are fortified. You have built a fortress around your time, your energy, and your mind. People will try to test the walls. They always do. But when they find that the walls do not crumble, when they find that you are the same focused, disciplined individual regardless of their praise or their criticism, they will stop testing. They will start respecting. You are moving from the role of the pleaser to the role of the sovereign. A sovereign does not ask for permission to rule. He simply rules. His people may love him, and that is a bonus, but they must respect him, or the kingdom falls. Your life is your kingdom. Stop letting the peasants dictate the laws. Take back the crown. The world is a cold place for those who carry only a candle of kindness. It is a playground for those who carry a torch of power. Do not be afraid of being feared. Be afraid of being ignored. Be afraid of being the person everyone likes, but no one listens to. Respect is the only currency that never devalues. Love may fade. Gratitude may rot, but the memory of your boundaries will keep you safe. Look in the mirror. Decide who you are. A sheep waiting for the shepherd, or the one who decides where the fence is built. The choice was always yours. They just hoped you wouldn't notice. Now that you know, you can never go back to being harmless. Go forth. Command the room. Let them wonder what you are capable of. It is better to be a master of your own shadows than a servant in someone else's light. I am Niccolò, and we are just getting started.